Ripley, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Routt County. I'm the Ranch and Rural Property Specialist for the Paoli Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Ripley, and you can find me at thepaoligroup.com in the Ranch Division.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzzed driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely, like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says, "I'm a catch," more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
I'm Parker Lindquist. I'm a sophomore at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 35 on the basketball team, and I'd say I play power forward. So this year is going to be my first year playing on the varsity team. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in Venue Church. I volunteer there, and I'm a participant. I'm not really sure where I'd like to go to college so far. We'll just see where life takes me. I'd love to play in college if given the opportunity. Basketball for sure. In 10 years, I'm not exactly sure where I see myself, to be honest with that. My favorite subject in school is, I like computer science. That's a good one. My favorite movie, Ghostbusters. It's just full action. Love it. Last summer, I worked at Carl's. It's a good work environment. And I hung out with friends a lot. My goal for this season is to get comfortable with varsity game speed and just pull massive boards. My goals for life are, my main goal is just to be happy. What I remember most about being a sailor is bus rides and hanging with the boys for sure. My name is Parker. I'm a sophomore, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Skip Deardorff from Alpine Lumber here in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the Yampa Valley, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend.
I'm Terry.
And this is Phil
from Russell's Auto Salon.
If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we have gone green with Enviro-based paint, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailor Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Sam Campbell, and I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm number 45, and I play post and center. I've been playing for 8 years, and I also like to play soccer, and I run cross country. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in orchestra. I play the violin. I've played it for 11 years. I'd like to go to college at Duke or UW, and I don't think I'll play anything in college, maybe intramurals, and probably either soccer or basketball. In 10 years, I see myself working in the field for marine biology, and my favorite subject in school is either Spanish or AP Bio. My favorite movie is Free Solo because it's super dramatic, and I love the people in it, and the soundtrack is amazing. Last summer, I went to a marine biology camp in North Carolina for 2 weeks, and we stayed at UNC Wilmington and did a whole bunch of field work on the beaches in North Carolina, so that was super cool. My goal for the season is to work on my shot form and become consistent, and my goals for life are being successful and happy. What I will remember most about being a sailor is all of the people that I play sports with. Like, I love the teams and I love the coaches, and just the team culture is amazing. My name's Sam Campbell. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Skip Yerdorf from Alpine Lumber here in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the Yampa Valley, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors Basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Hearth and Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new look. Hot Stuff loves my Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Shelby, and I'm a senior, and I'm number 30. I'm a shooting guard. I've been playing for 10 years. I also like to play lacrosse, and I run cross country. Outside of school, I'm involved with Youth Inspiring Change, and I volunteer at the animal shelter. I would like to go to CU. Let's go Buffs. And I will not be playing in college. Maybe like a hiking club, rock climbing club, who knows. In 10 years, I see myself in the wilderness, guiding people through the mountains. My favorite subject in school is science because I love factual information and it's to the point. My favorite movie is Forrest Gump because it's a classic. Last summer, I went to Thailand and did conservation and sustainability within the local people and the elephants. And my goal for the season is to work well together and win some games. And my goals for life are to be successful in everything I I do and hopefully travel the world and save the planet, you know? What I will remember most about being a sailor is the family, the friendship, the lessons I learned. My name is Shelby Weiss. I'm a senior, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community.
Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth.
How do you do that?
In addition to local scholarships, Ace invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale.
I love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a great cause.
Steamboat Ace, you're proud to support the Steamboat Sailors shopping place.
The team at Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, my name is JC May, and I'm a senior at the Steamboat Springs High School. My number is 21, and I play point guard. I've been playing basketball since 3rd grade. I also like to play lacrosse. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in 4-H. I'd like to go to college in Wyoming. I would like to play basketball in Wyoming if I could, but if not, it's not the end of the world. In 10 years, I see myself with a job, living on my own. My favorite subject in school is math, and my favorite movie is Pirates of the Caribbean. I like this movie because of the drama. So this summer, I raised a 4-H market swine named Ron, and I won reserve champion at the Rock County Fair. And as well, I went to 4 different basketball camps, all through PGC, which is Point Guard College Camp, in Boulder, Greeley, and 2 other places. I also went fishing a lot, just as Stagecoach and Steamboat Lake in the river. My goal for this season is to create a positive environment for my peers and my community, and my goals for life are to strive. What I will remember most about being a sailor is the community. Once again, I'm JC May. I'm a senior at Steamboat Springs High School, and I am proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wharton of Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Kellen Adams, and I'm a sophomore. I'm number 10. I play point guard, and I've been playing for 10 years. I also like to play lacrosse, and I run cross country. Outside of school and sports, I like to fish. I'm not 100% sure where I'd like to go to college, but I know I'd want to go to a 4-year school. I'm not 100% sure I would like to play college sport. In 10 years, I see myself with a girlfriend and a nice job.
Level check.
Is math, because it's the subject
level.
My favorite movie is Boston.
Can you hear me?
I like this movie because it's very funny and I like the comedy. Last summer, I went to a fishing trip in Honduras with my friend and hung out at the river and played a lot of spikeball. My goals for the season is to become a better player and improve my game. My goals for life are to have a successful job and family. What I remember most about being a sailor is the brotherhood and the friends I made on this team. My name is Kellen.
Blue Balenciaga's Bentley backdoor balling. Bars.
Sports on FM.
This is Skip Beardo from Alpine Lumber in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company. It is is committed to being the best supplier of materials
Bentley,
and services,
Blue Bonnet,
professional builder,
bars.
offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors basketball.
Crazy, bro.
Easy to find Alpine Lumber.
Got that space coat.
Pine Grove Road basketball teams. Alpine Lumber.
I can't believe Piles pulled up in a space coat.
Contractor's choice.
Yeah. $500,000?
I'm Terry.
And this is Phil.
$500,000 US. You need help with your auto collision repair. We make it easy.
Yes, sir.
Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto
We're from Steamboat. We work for Steamboat Radio.
Leading the industry in technology, where we've gone green with environment-based paints, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports.
My name is James Logan. I am a senior. My number is 32. My position is a shooting guard. I've been playing basketball for 6 years. I also run cross country and track outside school and sports. I'm also involved in my church as a leader for younger kids. I like to go to college at University of Wyoming after 2 years at Colorado Northwestern Community College. I will not be playing any sports in college. I will just have to degree. I see myself in 10 years as being a game warden or any parts in waterguard.
Manzanares? Manzanares?
Favorite movie
Manzanares.
Manzanares because it's a living movie that I just can do. Last summer I worked
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen.
My goal for this season
Welcome
is
in.
just have a fun time. I remember most about the fact Sailors is how oriented we are as a team program. We don't see ourselves as individuals or seniors. We all see ourselves as sailors, and that helps us. James William, senior, probably a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV
Here.
Sports on FM.
Just put this in your
Steamboat Sailors Basketball
camera
on
roll.
KTYV Sports on FM is
I'll put it in my favorites, so it's the only thing in there, so I can just go to it.
Car Wash, Steamboat Ace Hardware, Rockwood Auto Shop, Mattress and Furniture, Steamboat Resorts by Woodland Vacation Rental, and the Bailey Group with Colorado Group Realty.
Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors Basketball.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lone Epstein along with Ryan Hansen. Thanks for joining us today at the Rough Riders Shootout, where your Steamboat Springs Sailors are getting set to take on the Hornets of Pueblo County. Sailors coming into this tournament with a 1-5 record on the season. Ryan, it's good to be back in the booth with you. I know we just got off of a long hiatus. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year's, as they say. But the Sailors, a rough start, and they're looking to bounce back in this tournament. What do you think they need to do here today and the entirety of this tournament to get back on track? Well, as you said, it's been a long break, so they really had a lot of time to build on the things that they learned from taking that pretty large loss to Meade there. So you can expect some different adjustments, some different players, as you see Cade Gideon getting the start tonight, the freshman. Cade Gideon getting the start, yeah, as you said. Sailors lose the tip-off. Pueblo County misses their initial shot, and now Connor Hansen and company take it back for the Sailors. On the far side, it's Dawson Lindquist. Lindquist put together a nice first part of that season, looking to expand on that here today. Cade Gideon, the freshman sensation, at the top of the key. He's guarded by Colin Raper. Gideon, near side top corner, dribbles with his right, now gives it cross court to Hansen. Work around the horn, here's a corner shot from Lindquist. That bounces along the rim and falls harmlessly into the hands of Pueblo County. 2-0 now, Pueblo County working as they handle it near side. It's Colin Raper. Raper thought about taking the three ball, decides against it. Gives it back up to Jordan Manzanares. Let's talk about him for a moment, Ryan. Manzanares coming in. He's definitely the star player on this team, Talk about some stuff statistically about how much of an impact he has for this Hornets team.
Yeah, statistically, him and Sherwood leading the charge in almost every single category except for blocks. Manzanares leading the team in points with triple digits points scored already this season, 131 points total already. And something I know Coach Van Dahl was talking to the guys about is capping him on the catch, making sure there's no situation when that he could shoot in, because he really can shoot it.
There's a 3-ball from Connor Hansen. Hansen, we rode down with this team, Ryan. I was talking to Connor on the way down here, and I tell him every game, you gotta shoot 10 times a game. And I know that there's certain times you don't get that opportunity, but I mean, when he gets hot, he gets hot. And so 3-0 Sailors lead, as the first bucket of the game is a Hansen 3-pointer. Pueblo County is going to get called for a travel here. And now the Sailors take it back, moving left to right on your radio dial. 105.7 KTYV. You can also catch our live stream at steamboatradio.com. Here's Gideon. Gideon at the top of the key. Ball in his hands, gives it over to Kreisig. Kreisig inside, dishes it out to Hansen. Now Hansen looking for Pollard inside. Pollard, skip pass over to Gideon. Little pump fake here from Lindquist. He drives in, misses the shot. Looks like that one was blocked, and now there's a foul on the floor. And this is going to go against Colin Raper, his first foul of the game. Sailors are going to inbound it in the offensive zone. 5:46 left to play in the first. Here's Jake Kreisig. Kreisig inside to Lindquist. Lindquist ducks under a defender, pivots, turnaround jumper, no good off the front iron, and Gideon's there to pull it away. Cade Gideon getting a board. Rips it around the corner. Gideon gets it back on the far side. Now gives it to Hansen. Hansen working, pump fake. He'll drive in along the baseline, give it back to Kreisig, and another whistle is going to be called. That is an off-ball foul against Lindquist. I think they're going to get him for an illegal screen. So Cade Gideon getting the start here, Ryan. Obviously this is a team that Coach Van Dahl, as good of a coach as he is, he really still has a lot to learn about a lot of these players, and that's why he's toying with the lineup so much. You went from having a solid starting five to having a very deep and talented team, and there's a lot of question marks around who should be getting time. What's your take on the whole thing?
Yeah, exactly. How you said, question marks around who should be getting the time here. For example, Mac Rineker and Tyler Doyne, they came in at a young age and they performed extremely well. So, as you can see, Coach Van Dahl kind of shooting for that, saying, hey, maybe if I start Cade for this game, maybe he'll pick something up. Maybe Cade can be that next figure of the program that's going to be around for 4 years.
Here's a 3-ball from Manzanares, and he hits it. 6-3, the Sailors. While you were talking, they hit a layup there. Sailors up 6-3 now, 4:28 to play. Here's Gideon. Gideon works it to the far side. It's Hansen. Deep black line 3, and he bangs it. Hansen with the cloud pierce here. Connor Hansen 2 for 2 from behind the arc. Thus far, 9-3. Now quickly working, it's going to be Pueblo County. It's Manzanares. Handles it. Gives it back to Colin Raper. Raper runs off the pick. Good defense there from Connor Hansen. Now they're working around the horn. Into the far side. Here's Seth Sherwood. Talked about him earlier. Sherwood, nowhere to go. Good defense here from the Sailors. As Piles in the game now. Ethan Piles locked up on Manzanares. So Cade Gideon still in the game as well. Sherwood working versus Hansen. Tries to spin around. Drives in. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound going to be gathered by Ethan Piles. Good defensive possession there for the Sailors. Now Gideon. Cross court over to Piles. Piles back over to Gideon. What a play here. And Gideon, can he get the shot to go? No, he can't. And the rebound's going to be pulled down by Pollard. That's going to be a foul on the floor. 3:21 to play. Who'd they get on this one? And it looks like it'll be Colin Raper for his second of the game. Sailors going to inbound it in the offensive zone now. 3:21 to play in the first quarter. Here's Ethan Piles. Piles slaps the ball, calls the play, looks over, finds Granger Rowan. Rowan over to Gideon now. Young players on the floor here for the Sailors. Hansen working. Right hand. Steps back. Crossover now to Gideon. Gideon back over to Piles. Now Ethan Piles just surveying the floor. 3 minutes on the clock. Piles tells his team to move around, and Hansen does a complete loop around the court. Now he gets the ball. Hansen near side top corner, gives it back to Piles. Piles inside, tries to give it to Pollard. It's tipped away for a moment. Pollard sends it cross court. Here's Gideon. Now back to Hansen. Another 3 ball, and he can't get that one to fall, and it's tipped away by Pollard. Ball's on the floor. Pueblo County getting tied up with it, and there's going to be a foul called. I think it's going to go against Granger Rowan.
Yeah, I don't know about that call. Little bit of a loose ball there. Granger Rowan, kind of known as a hustle player throughout the Western Slope, kind of dove all the way from the opposite side of the court to get on that, but they got him for a foul there.
Now Raper working, trying to run off the pick. He's guarded by Ethan Piles. Good switch there from Hansen, and Piles didn't get confused on the defensive end. Deep 3 from Manzanares, can't hit there. Pueblo County gets the rebound, but then Jace Barger steps out of bounds. Sailors get it back with 2:25 to play in the first. 9-3 is your score. Sailors leading by 6. Here's Gideon handling the ball at the top of the key. Now to Hansen, over to Rowan. Far side, it's going to be Ethan Piles. Piles drives it with his left hand, turns around, shoots it up top to Hansen. Here's another 3. Can he get it? No. And now Hansen 2 for 4. But I know that Coach Van Dahl loves to see it. I mean, you can't be disappointed in him shooting those threes.
Yeah, because Coach Van Dahl really knows he could shoot it, and that's how he got his initial playing time when he was a little bit younger in the program. So he knows he can shoot it, and he trusts him to do so, but it's kind of nice to see him come out and actually get some shots up.
Pollard checks out of the ball game, and Dawson Lindquist is going to check in here. Pueblo County on offense handling it. It's Jace Barger. Barger gives it over to Sherwood. Sherwood working versus Gideon, trying to take advantage of the freshman, and he gets called for a travel. Good defensive play there from Cade Gideon. Dawson Lindquist came and picked up the slide there, and Pueblo County gets called for steps. Hansen checks out of the game. Kreisig checks in. $1:46 to play in the first. It's Cade Gideon. Top of the key. Over to Piles. Haven't seen him shoot one yet this evening. Piles at the top of the key. Spins off of a defender. Pump fake. Sends it to Lindquist in the corner. 3 ball. Got it. Nice play there from the point guard, Ethan Piles. Found the open spot. And Lindquist is there to let it fly. 12-3. And a takeaway here on the other end. Granger Rowan steals this one away, lines up the 3, pulls it, can't get that to go. Cade Gideon soars in for the rebound, gives it to Lindquist. 3 ball again, no good off the front iron. And finally it's pulled down by Seth Sherwood and company. Sherwood gives it up to Jace Barger. 57 seconds to go in the first quarter. 2 pretty evenly matched teams here. Sailors taking the cake though in the first. Zach Beltran. Now over to Barger once more. Far side top corner. Puts up a shot. And Sherwood's there for the rebound. Tried to get the second attempt. No good. Quickly now it's going to be Kreisig on the other end. 34 seconds to play. Kreisig gives it over to Piles, and he's just going to hold on to this one. Waits for Sherwood to challenge him. Now gives it over to Rowan. Now back to Kreisig. Kreisig at the top of the key. Dribbles with his right. Gives it back to Lindquist. Work it around the horn. Gideon now. Gideon back to Kreisig. 18 seconds to play. And now Piles is just going to slow it down again. Good offensive pace control here from the Sailors early. 9 seconds on the clock. In the corner. Gideon for 3. No good. And Manzanares is there to pull it down. 2 seconds. Manzanares heaves one up. Got it. Jordan Manzanares at the buzzer. Pretty much a half-court 3. Lets it fly, and sure enough, it hits. So a 12-6 lead for the Sailors. Let's just pretend that one didn't count, that last shot, and we're going to say that the Sailors held this Pueblo County team to 3 points in the first quarter. I mean, defensively, they were stellar.
Yeah, exactly. They came into the game averaging just about even, right on the nose, only differing by 0.1 rebounds. And as you can see, the Sailors coming up huge here. The boards are controlling the tempo, and that paired with their defensive strategy, they've really been playing on to Manzanares. and really trying to cap him off the catch because, as you saw, he can shoot it. And you saw Connor and Ethan Piles there get the double contest, and that was a forced miss. So they know who the main scorers on this team are. So this scouting report was pretty in-depth, and they really are locked into it.
They are locked in, and this is a big game for the Sailors. You know, they've only got one win on the season. You know, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't, Ryan, but, you know, you start asking the question, you know, you start talking about playoffs and you start talking about seeding, but, I mean, at this point in the year, there's question marks about whether this team can even make the playoffs.
Yeah, most teams coming out of this Christmas break have usually came together and kind of have their identity sorted out, kind of know what they want to do, but this Sailors squad is just ever-changing, as you can see.
Into the second quarter we go now. Sailors handling the ball. It'll be Cade Gidding. He hasn't come off the floor yet. He hasn't scored any points either. Here's a deep three from Piles. No good. That one was close off the back iron. We've seen him do that time and time again, make those shots. So that one goes out of bounds, and now Manzanares and company are handling it on the other end for the Hornets. Here's Colin Raper. Raper, the 5'10" senior. On the far side. Gives it over to Manzanares. Steps back. He's guarded by Kreisig way outside. Beyond the black line. Good defense there from Kreisig. Gives it back to Raper. Raper now working. Crossover dribble. Stutter step. Drives in. And that's going to be a foul called against the Sailors. Gideon was trying to take the charge. Instead, Colin Raper's going to head to the line and shoot two. Want to say a quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV, and you can catch our live stream on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice and homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Pardon me. Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Russell's Auto Salon, 879-1515.
Here's a three from Kreisig. Got that one to fall. On the other end, Raper made both free throws. Sailors have a 15-8 lead. They're hot from behind the arc thus far. Connor Hansen and Eric Paul are both getting ready to check back into this game as County works it around to the far side. Raper on the cut. And he gets the bucket to go. 15-10. 5-point game. Sailors lead. Here's Lindquist. Goes between his legs. Far in the near corner. Dishes it around the horn. It's going to be Kreisig. Kreisig looks up. Finds Lindquist again. Now it's Piles. Piles holding it above his head. Looking for somewhere to go. He has it in his left hand now. And it's back to Lindquist. Over to Rowan. Now to Kreisig. Kreisig working, finds Cade Gideon. He kicks it back out to Piles. Here's a three ball, no good. And Gideon fights with Kreisig for the rebound. And they both end up tipping it out of bounds. Pueblo County basketball.
One thing that's pretty apparent, even just from that possession, is that if you watch Cade Gideon, he hasn't really stopped moving most of the game here.
He hasn't been out of the game either. Coach Van Dahl just looking for a little bit more, I think, trying to see what he can do in big-minute situations as Raper and company handle it for the Hornets. Colin Raper, guarded by Kreisig. Inside now, it's going to be Manzanares. Turnaround three, got it. Man, let me tell you, that move that Jordan Manzanares just put on Eric Pollard to spin out and hit that three, that was a stellar play there. On the other end, the Hornets get a takeaway. 5:34 left to play, and what was once a 10-point game is now a 2-point game, 15-13. And just like that, it's a tied game, 15-15, as Pueblo County knocks another one home. That was Colin Raper. That'll be enough for the Sailors to take a timeout here on 105.7 KTYV on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
Something the Sailors have been looking to do is obviously take away Manzanares, pardon me. But obviously working off of that, Raper right there just got the easy layup because he knows that Eric Pollard's going to be filling out of the paint to come and kind of help guard Jordan Manzanares, because that leaves the lane wide open, and he took advantage of it to get tie game here.
Jordan Manzanares doing a whole lot for this Hornets team early in this one. Sailor's going to come back out of the timeout. Lindquist, Gideon, Hansen, Pollard, and Kreisig on the floor. Sailors wearing their all-white jerseys, red numbers, red letters, red piping down the sides. And they're letting Gideon run some point guard here as he handles it, moving left to right on your radio dial. Gideon gives it over to Hansen. Back to Gideon now, far side, top corner. Inside, tries to find Pollard. He's going to skip past that one out. Nice fake by Lindquist. He ducks under, and he misses the floater. Gets the rebound, and now foul's going to be called on the floor. This should be against Pueblo County. And indeed it will be. So now Lindquist inbounding it from the offensive zone. 5:07 to play here in the second quarter. 15-15, game's tied. Lindquist looks up, finds Pollard. Pollard now trying to post up, gives it back out to Lindquist. And he's in the near corner, over to Kreisig. Kreisig goes between his legs, pulls it out, and throws a pass. That one's stolen away, and Lindquist is able to get it back. Lindquist drives, spins, loses it, and he gets called for a travel. Got to be very wary about those spin moves. We've seen a lot of Steamboat players in the past and this season get called for steps on those moves. Matt Griniker used to get called for those all the time. So now Pueblo working far side, layup, and one. That's Joel Gonzalez, the sophomore, getting to the rack. And he's going to have a chance to make this a three-point play. 17-15. Sailors now with a 2-point deficit. First deficit they've had all game. I think the trick to this game, Ryan, I think is just going to be continuing to play solid defense. You can't let Manzanares hit some of these shots.
Yeah, as you said there, keeping track of Jordan Manzanares is obviously the key for this team, but that defensive communication feeds into the offensive end, and that's something that this team's been built on. And for a while there, early second quarter, they had kind of a lapse in that communication, and it translated to the offensive end. There was less passing, less of those finding the open guy, and it resulted in a couple turnovers.
Sailors forced the turnover, and then Pueblo County does the exact same thing on the other end. Now it's the Hornets working. Here's Colin Raper. Raper drives in between the defense, and he gets called for a travel. Colin Raper just splits the defense there, and he's slashed inside, but he gets called for steps. 4:12 to play in the first half. 15-17. Here's Cade Gideon. Hasn't taken a seat the entire first half thus far. Gideon works it over to Piles. Piles now back up top to Rowan. Inside, it's going to be Eric Pollard. Pollard trying to post up as the Sailors just rip it back outside, and that ball's safe from going out of bounds. Here's Piles in the corner. Hansen for three. Bangs it home. Connor Hansen. What did I tell you? I think that, this is definitely Connor's biggest game of the year so far.
Easily his biggest game of the year so far, and it's only this first half.
Well, what I was going to say, Ryan, is that I think that I should have the majority of the credit
absolutely
for Connor shooting the ball more than twice.
Probably 100%.
Because I've just been riding him all day long, telling him to shoot it 10 times, and sure enough, he's 3 for 5 from behind the arc. Piles is going to drive in and get called for a foul. And Ethan Piles is going to head to the charity stripe and shoot a couple.
Yeah, that's the thing about Connor Hansen, is that you listen into the stands during one of the varsity games, and all you hear is people wanting Connor to shoot it. Well, there you go, 3 for 5 on the night so far.
Piles makes the first free throw. Platoon change here for the Hornets as Jose Hanford checks in the game, as does Zach Beltran and Jaden Cook. So Piles now trying to make this a 3-point lead for the Sailors. And he will. 20-17, 3:16 to play in the first half. Here's Colin Raper. Raper working, gives it over to Sherwood. Sherwood now Gasses it back to Manzanares. He's guarded by Hansen. Manzanares back in the corner. Here's Sherwood. Sherwood spins. He's along the baseline, and that one's going to be stolen away, picked right out of the air by Ethan Piles. And now Piles throws that one away. Colin Raper on the other end. Nice, easy lay-in, and it's a one-point game, 20-19. Piles gets the turnover and gives it away. Sailors back on offense. Here's Ethan Piles. Piles back over to Rowan. Rowan at the top of the key, gives it to Gideon. Haven't seen Gideon shoot but one time in this one so far. You've got to think the nerves have got to be heavy for the freshman. Whistle on the floor. And that one goes against Zach Beltran of the Hornets. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Both teams have 5 fouls. Have been able to stay out of foul trouble thus far. Piles on the inbounds pass, offensive zone. Gives it up to Hansen. Connor Hansen back down to Piles. He's going to drive the baseline, slips by a defender, looks inside, tries to find Gideon. He loses it, now gives it back out to Hansen. Hansen pulls it away, ball on a string. Looks for somewhere to go, and he's just going to dish it back out to Piles. 2:15 to play now. Piles runs off the pick, crossover dribble, drives in, left-hand layup, got it. Ethan Piles bringing energy. Here's Colin Raper. Pull up 3. No good. Gideon's there for the board. Now they work it down quickly. Here's the Sailors. Whistle on the floor. And foul's going to be called against Zach Beltran again. Did you see the call there?
The ref said he was kind of getting his forearm into Parker Lindquist's back because Parker Lindquist was posting him up down low and he was getting into him with the forearm, and they don't really like to see that nowadays.
So it's an off-ball foul called against the Hornets. Missed pass here from Piles, and Rowan has to go and chase that one. Here's Granger Rowan now taking it up the floor. Rowan gives it over to Gideon. Gideon now at the top of the key. Gideon working, runs off the pick. Looks for somewhere to go, finds Hansen again for 3. And he can't get that one to fall. 3 for 6 now, shooting 50%. Connor Hansen with 9 points on the day as he goes back and he's guarding Manzanares. Active hands from Hansen. He's bothering Manzanares. Now it's Sherwood in the corner. Work it back over. It's Jaden Cook. Inside, Sherwood, layup good. 1-point game, 22-21. 1 minute to play in the first half. Here we go, Ethan Piles. Piles slows it down. Looks over, finds Gideon. Now back over to Rowan. Dish it back to Piles in the far corner. Ethan Piles holds it above his head. Commands the troops. Now works it back. It's Rowan. Inside to Parker Lindquist. Loses it for a moment. Pull up 3. Lindquist with the gutsy shot there. Someone who doesn't get a lot of minutes shooting a big shot there. Coach Van Dahl looking like he's going to sub in Kreisig after that one. 30 seconds to play as Manzanares handles it. Sherwood now for the Hornets. Work it around, it's Jaden Cook. Cook back to Manzanares, hand in his face, 3 ball, no good. 19 seconds, Gideon's there for the rebound. Cade Gideon slowing things down. 10 seconds to go, countdown commences. And Gideon just loses that one, over and back call. And you can see the frustration from Coach Van Dahl. So 9 seconds on the clock. Kreisig checks in, as does Dawson Lindquist. Rowan and Parker Lindquist will check out of the game. Hornets are going to look to have one more opportunity here as they inbound it, and it'll be Colin Raper doing the honors. Raper drives in with his left. Turn around, Jake, ducks under, put up a shot, no good, and the buzzer sounds. That'll do it for this first half of action at Roosevelt High School, where your Sailors are going to head to the locker room with a 22-21 lead against the Pueblo County Hornets. For Ryan Hansen, I'm Lowen Epstein. We'll be back after the break on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
team.
Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Hearth and Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new home. Hot Stuff loves My Steamboat Sailors Basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community.
Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth.
How do you do that?
In addition to local scholarships, ACE invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale.
I love it. Every weekend I can shop at Ace and support a great cause.
Steamboat Ace, you're proud to support the Steamboat Sailors Shopping Ace.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk, restaurant, need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. It's disorganized.
I think I understand. Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No.
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, my name's Jake. I'm a junior in high school. I'm number 32. I play wing mostly, sub-center, and all around. Playing varsity this year. I also like to play other outdoor activities and video games, stuff like that. Outside of school sports, I'm also involved in my family and friends and all that other stuff. I'd like to go to college at CU or CSU. I'll play in college if the opportunity presents itself. I would obviously be playing basketball. In 10 years, I see myself going to school for business, hopefully looking to start one. My favorite subject in school is history because it relates to everything that's going on today. My favorite movie is Escape Plan. I like the movie because there's a lot of action and it keeps you thinking. Last summer I played a little travel ball and hung out. My goal for this season is to stay healthy and improve from last year. My goals for life are to not work too much and have no regrets. What I will remember most about being a sailor is the teammates I met. Jake Kreisig, Jr., proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
I'm Jared, and this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon. If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we've gone green with enviro-based paint, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
Hi, Steamboat friends. This is Charlie Green from Mountain Mattress and Furniture. Do you ever notice how grumpy your parents get when house guests arrive? Or how mean your big sister gets when you have to share her room for the weekend? I've got the secret to keep everyone happy. Stop by Mountain Mattress and Furniture on Loggers Lane for the best price and selection on Serta, Tempur-Pedic, and Simmons mattresses. Plus a great selection of linens and even comfy mattresses for the pull-out couch. If everyone sleeps, everyone stays happy, and a great mattress from Mountain Mattress and Furniture is the secret.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Josie Flint and I'm a junior. My number is 33 and I play post. I played basketball for 4 years. I also like to play soccer. Outside of school and sports, I am involved with NHS and modeling. I'd like to go to college somewhere on the West Coast, and I will not play sports in college. In 10 years, I see myself having a job, hopefully. My favorite subject in school is math. My favorite movie is Surf's Up. I like this movie because of Chicken Joe. Last summer, I went to France. So in France, I saw the Women's World Cup, and America won. Woo! Go USA! My goals for this season are to score points and not let points in and let George not get mad at me. My goals for life are to have a job somewhere and have a family. What I will remember most about being a sailor is all the good times we had as a team. I'm Josie Flint, a junior, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Worth of Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball. On KTYV Sports on FM, Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown bank. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
Managing local land involves balancing resources such as agriculture, water, and wildlife. I'm Brian Ripley, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Routt County. I'm the Ranch and Rural Property Specialist for the Pueblo Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Ripley, and you can find me at thepaoligroup.com in the Ranch Division.
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting Sailor Sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the Sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
Hi, this is Cindy Hike, owner of Celebrations and Steamboat Arts on the 8th block of Lincoln Avenue. We recently added a new candy store and pottery painting studio for individuals or groups of 12 people or less. Check out our new additions to the arcade. We have air hockey, dig dug, and Galaga. Book a party online today at steamboatcelebrations.com or call 879-3333. Mention this ad and receive 2 free tokens. I'll see you at Celebrations, 831 Lincoln Avenue. Open daily, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5
Time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, my name is Katie. I'm number 11 and I'm a senior this year. I play shooting guard and point guard, and I also like to run cross country and play grass. Outside of school sports, I'm also, actually no, I don't have a life outside of school sports. I would like to go to college at School of Mines, probably, I think. That's a hard question. Will I play in college? In 10 years, I have no idea where I see myself. I can't even figure out where I want to go to college, so. My favorite movie isn't Spider-Man Homecoming anymore. I found a new movie. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming. Something about Mary. I think it's called Something About Mary. No, is that the name of the movie? Like, something like that. It's the funniest movie I've ever watched. Please go watch it. Last summer, oh my gosh, I went to a bear camp at School of Mines. It was the greatest experience ever. Absolutely loved it. And the season is to be able to play. I tore my ACL in April, so I hope that I'm able to get back and play this year. And my goals for life are to be happy. And what I remember most about being a sailor is my time with my family. All the team dinners that we've had, all the opportunities they've taken to make fun of me. My name's Katie. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Steamboat Sailors basketball, brought to you by Yampa Valley Bank, Alpine Lumber, The Corner Slice, Mountain View Car Wash, Russell's Auto Salon, Steamboat Ace Hardware, UC Health at Yampa Valley Medical Center, Chris Pond at the downtown Edward Jones office, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals, and Mountain Mattress and Furniture.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors basketball.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Lowen Epstein, Ryan Hansen in the booth at Roosevelt High School. Sailors in a tough bout with the Pueblo County Hornets. 22-21, Sailors leading. Ryan, let's talk about that first half for a moment. Sailors did a pretty good job of playing smart defensive basketball, but offensively there were some troubles. If you were Coach Van Dahl, what did you have to say in the locker room at halftime?
I know one thing Coach Van Dahl would always touch on in the locker room is that you don't want to live and die by the three. As you saw, we were shooting it pretty good early on there, but another thing, you don't want to live and die by the three because more times than not, you're going to die by it. And especially things like just getting that correct defensive rotation. As you saw, Manzanares get a couple wide open looks that you just have to avoid.
Connor Hansen definitely living by the three in that first half. Here's the Hornets in the corner, first shot of the half. That one rings out. That was a free ball from Seth Sherwood, no good. Quickly now the Sailors up on the other end. Here's a step-back dribble from Kreisig. Gets the defender off him, looks inside, finds Pollard, now back out to Kreisig. Kreisig looks inside, and he just passes that one off the rim. He was looking for Pollard, but hits the rim instead, and it goes out into the hands of the Hornets. Pueblo County working now. Here's Colin Raper. Raper with a stutter step, kicks it outside. Manzanares once more. Now work it over to Seth Sherwood, near side top corner. Sherwood guarded by Cade Gideon. Now it's touched around the horn. Manzanares once more, gives it over to Raper. Raper inside, trying to find Jaden Cook. Cook's going to post up against Connor Hansen, and he gets a finger on that one. Hansen's going to get a block in the stat book on that play. Here's Connor Hansen. He was 3 for 6 from three-point in the first half. Gideon's going to handle it now for the Sailors. Gideon crossover dribble, runs off the pick, drives in, finds Hansen. Now work it around, pick and roll here as Kreisig ends up with it. Now back to Gideon. Gideon pulls it out, finds Lindquist for three, no good. And that's going to be a foul on the floor. Sailors are going to get it back. So in the offensive zone, the Sailors will inbound it. And it'll be Kreisig. 6:29 on the clock. If you're just joining us, Sailors in some third quarter action, up 22-21 against the Hornets of Pueblo County. Here's Hansen in the corner. Quick three, no good. And he gets his own rebound, saves it. It's off of a Hornets player, and that's a lucky play from Connor Hansen as the Sailors are going to retain possession there. So Hansen's going to inbound it. Connor Hansen looks. He's running out of time, gives it up top to Lindquist, almost stolen away. Lindquist is able to pull it away, and now he gives it back to Kreisig. Kreisig inside, kicks it out to Hansen. Now looks in for Pollard, and he posts up and gets the and one call. And now they're going to tee up a Hornet player. That's Jaden Cook. And so Jaden Cook gets teed up after getting called on the foul as well. So basically what happened is that Eric Pollard got the ball, posted up, goes up for the shot, makes the and one play. Jaden Cook fouled him, and then after the whistle was blown, Cook got the ball and threw it against the wall behind the basket. So he gets a tech, and Pollard's going to shoot free throws. First one from Pollard, good. And now Hansen will check in to shoot these technical free throws. So Pollard makes it a three-point play, 25-21 game. And Hansen gets the free throw to fall. He'll have one more. 26-21 now. That's a big-time point swing for both teams here. That's a 5-point swing.
Yeah, in one possession there. It's really, really useful to get that boost that they really needed coming out of halftime there.
So Hansen puts the Sailors up 27-21, and they're going to get the ball back. Lindquist gives it over to Gideon, and Gideon has been running some point guard for the Sailors here this evening. He handles it. Now over to Kreisig. Inside, it's going to be Pollard. Pollard dishes it out. It's tipped up. Gideon's there to find it. Works it around the baseline, and now they just shift gears here. Gideon up top now. Drives in with his left. Finds Kreisig. Kreisig jump pass, and another foul called. Once more, it's against Pueblo County. This time, I think it's going to be Colin Raper. So right off the bat, 4 fouls to start this half for Pueblo County. Sailors inbound it, look up top, and Kreisig throws it away. That's a questionable pass there from Jake Kreisig. He was looking inside trying to find Pollard, understandable, but Pollard had 2 guys on him, so Colin Raper and company going to handle it. Here's Sherwood on the other end. Sherwood for the Hornets. Gives it over to Manzanares. Manzanares now over to Beltran. Up top now, it's Colin Raper. Raper between the legs, crossover dribble, drives in. Shamgod pulls it away, gives it to Manzanares for 3, and he buries it. Jordan Manzanares collecting from behind the arc. Timeout, Sailors. Want to say another quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV. Thanks for all tuning into our live stream on SteamboatRadio.com.
Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more. By offering customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. The Paoli Group, if you're searching for your own prime real estate, give them a call at 870-0552. Celebrations, formerly Celebrations of Kids, is fun for kids of all ages. Check out the brand new arcade game, 1,600 square foot candy store, 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice, plus more. Schedule your party today at SteamboatCelebrations.com.
So coming out of the timeout, Sailors are going to handle it. Here's Cade Gideon. Gideon working. He's guarded by Colin Raper. And he gives it over. A little pick and roll action here. In the corner, they find Gideon again. Bounce pass inside to Pollard. Ball's on the floor, taken away by Pueblo County. So Gideon with the turnover there. Colin Raper drives in. Pull-up J from 15. No good. And Beltran's there for the rebound. Second attempt. This time Pollard pulls it down, and now Piles and company taking it back for the Sailors. Ball's going everywhere here as this one's on the floor. People on the ground. I mean, this is just a mess. And Piles somehow ends up on top of it, and he gets called for a travel. I mean, that was a... that ball got tipped off the backboard. It got tipped off of players. That was just a very unwinding possession. Manzanares will inbound it for Pueblo County. Gives it up top to Colin Raper. Raper going to handle it. He's guarded by Granger Rowan. Raper drives in, stutter step, gives it back out to Beltran. Now it's worked over to Jose Hanford. Here's Sherwood. And one. That's a big-time play as Seth Sherwood spins his way to the rack. He's got a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, Seth Sherwood, the second leading scorer on this squad here, and we haven't really got to see that much of him today. We saw him get a nice layup earlier on, but aside from that, there hasn't been too much of him in this game yet.
Free throw, no good. Sailors going to take control once more. So here's Ethan Piles with Sherwood right on him. In the corner, Hansen for 3. Got it. Connor Hansen has been automatic thus far. 30-26. 4 minutes to go in the third. Here's Colin Raper, guarded by Rowan. Raper drives in, kicks it out to Sherwood. 3-ball, toes on the line, and they give him 3 for that one. Seth Sherwood answering on the other end. 30-29, it's back to a 1-point game. This is where we left off at halftime. Here's Cade Gideon. Gideon works it over to Piles. Now back up top to Rowan. Working around, it's Gideon once more. Near side, top corner. Bounce pass. Finds Pollard. Posts up. Hook shot. And yeah, the shot didn't go. The shot didn't fall, but a foul's going to be called. That one goes against Pollard. What was the call there?
They said
they got an offensive foul for that?
Yeah, they said that he kind of pushed. I'm unsure if who was under the basket, but they said that Eric Pollard kind of pushed him out under while going up to get the rebound, which, I mean, is going to happen when you got a 6'7", 215-pound kid coming through the lane.
Here's Lindquist. Over to Piles. Piles driving off the glass, no good. Lindquist flies in for the rebound, not enough. Manzanares comes away with it for the Hornets. Manzanares in the corner, cross-court pass over to Raper. Raper loses dribble, gives it back to Zach Beltran. Beltran in the corner, finds Hanford, and Hanford's shot won't fall. Sailors pushing the envelope. Here's Hansen again. No good. Connor Hansen getting the crowd to hold their breath every time he has the ball. That's an exciting player. Colin Raper, once more, spin move, stolen away. And they're going to call a jump ball. Good play from Granger Rowan as he was able to get wrapped up with Raper there. That's a good defensive play. Sailors now down by 1, 30-31, 2:28 left to play in the third quarter. Timeout's going to be called here from Pueblo County as the Sailors are in a close one. Ryan, I know you and I were going over some of the numbers between these two teams. Just talk a minute for a moment about how evenly matched up these teams really are.
Yeah, as I was kind of talking about earlier, the rebounding especially within 0.1, but alongside that, the average scoring per game is also only off by about 0.1, with the Sailors averaging about 54.9 and Pueblo County averaging about 55. In every single statistical category, they are neck and neck. They aren't differed by more than one. One is the greatest difference of the stats, as Pueblo County has one more block per game and the Sailors have one more steal per game, so it's evenly matched here, as you said earlier.
Sailors coming into this game with a 1-5 record. Pueblo County coming in with a 2-3 record, not much better. Both teams in need of a win here. Here's Hansen, top of the key. Swing pass over to Piles. Piles goes between his legs, shows off his dance moves, now gives it back to Lindquist. Lindquist drives in, puts up a floater. That one falls. I want to say that's Lindquist's first points of the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be his first points of the game.
I also think so as well.
So here's Manzanares. Sailors up by 1, 32-31. 2 minutes to play in the third. Quickly now is Jace Barger. Inside, finds Manzanares. Tip pass out now. It's Dean DiCarlo. Pueblo County trying to work against this lanky Sailors lineup they got on the floor right now. Joel Gonzalez now over to Manzanares. Calls out his platoon. He's directing his players. Manzanares runs off the pick. Good defense from Lindquist. Sherwood now in the corner. It's Barger once more. He drives in with his right hand. Head fake. Back to Sherwood. Sherwood with just nowhere to go. Finally gets by a defender and gets that one to fall. Granger Rowan had him locked up and just let him by there. Didn't want to get called for a foul. 32-33. Sailors once again trailing by 1. Here's Piles. Piles driving in. He gets called for steps. And now Cade Gidding going to sub out for the first time in this game. Jay Kreisig checks in. Interesting coaching style here from Coach Vandal. You know, I can do my best to try to say what's going on, and you can do your best to try to say what's going on, but in reality, I mean, Coach Vandal is going to do his thing, and if he wants to start a freshman for all three opening quarters, so be it. So be it. 43 seconds on the clock. Here's Joel Gonzalez. Works it over to Barger. Barger inside. Sherwood goes up, and a foul is going to be called on Kreisig. Kreisig trying to argue with the ref that he had all ball, but it won't be enough. Sherwood will head to the line to shoot 2.
as you were kind of talking about there, yeah, anyone can really give their best guess, but I know Cade had a bit of a break, maybe had a little bit of a lapse in gaining the knowledge of all the playbook that we have. But tonight, bringing the ball up almost every single offensive possession, he's shown that he hasn't had a lapse in judgment either. He knows the plays and he knows where the ball needs to go and exactly the timing, and he stayed in all night and proved that he can really hang and keep up with the tempo of this varsity basketball here.
Definitely a high IQ player. Not on the floor, though, for the final 15 seconds of this third quarter. Here's Hansen for three. No good. He was way off on that one. Lindquist is there to grab the board and the putback, too. Game's tied at 34. Manzanares quickly working now. 3 seconds on the clock. Puts up a heave. No good. And that'll do it. So this is a pretty fun one, Ryan. I mean, not necessarily the most high-scoring game that we've ever seen, but 34-34 after 3 as we head into the final frame at Roosevelt High School. Ryan, I mean, you've basically gone through your entire lineup. Now it's time to look and see who can close this game out. Who's going to stand on the mound and throw 3 strikes? Somebody's got to come up big for the Sailors, and somebody's got to hit some big-time shots.
You'd obviously look to someone like Jacob Kreising or Connor Hansen just with that ability to shoot it from long range, but also don't disregard the fact that Eric Pollard has about 4 inches on the nearest Pueblo County defender. But as you can see, this lanky lineup, we can go lengthy without getting necessarily slow. As you can see, Dawson Lindquist, Jacob Kreisig, Granger Owen, Connor Hansen, Cade Gedeon, fairly lengthy. Yeah. They can really get into those passing lanes, which is what they need on defense right now with it tied up.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a team where it's really more of an oddity to not be taller than 6'2". I'm serious. We have more players on this team that are taller than 6'2" than not. So into the fourth and final quarter we go. 34 all. Pueblo County going to get us started off here. It'll be Colin Raper. Raper gives it over to Seth Sherwood. Sherwood inside. Fadeaway jumper from Manzanares. No good. Sailors get the board. No, the other interesting thing about this game, Ryan, is that we really haven't seen either team put in a full court press at all today.
Which is something that you typically see from any Sailors squad.
Yeah, a lot. You see it a lot, and we haven't seen it all today. And so I think that's probably had an effect on this game, because when you put in a full court press, obviously you cause turnovers, you create a little bit of havoc around midcourt, and there just hasn't really been a lot of that today. Both teams moving up the floor freely.
Yeah, both teams kind of getting set into their offenses, and both squads trusting their defenses as well. And up until this point, it's been very balanced. You know, you've seen more 3-point shots shot tonight than probably any other game, and I do think that's a byproduct of no full court press, because you get that space that you need to off the 3-point line, and both teams have been taking relative advantage of it.
Sherwood now spins around, Rowan drives in, and that's going to be a foul. Seth Sherwood going to head to the line here. They get Kreisig on the foul. Sailors not really in any danger of foul trouble. No players in any danger of fouling out either. That's a big plus from this game. I think win or lose, you've got to talk about, because they've done such a good job of staying disciplined, and they've done such a good job of staying in control.
Yeah, as you said, just kind of keeping these fouls evenly spread throughout the lineup, not having to sit one of your better leaders like an Ethan Piles or a Dawson Lindquist late in the game.
So now an interesting move here. Connor Hansen and Jay Kreisig are going to check out of the game, and Jackson Metzler, who's gotten some very large varsity minutes in the past, but he hasn't played at all this game. I mean, he's not warmed up. He hasn't played all this game. He's in now. So Metzler gives it over to Piles. Piles is going to draw a whistle, and that'll be a foul on the floor. And that's going to go on Dean DiCarlo. One more foul, and the Sailors are going to be in the bonus. Piles is going to inbound in the offensive zone. Piles, bounce pass inside, finds Granger Rowan. Rowan working now, gives it back to Piles. He's in the corner. Step back three, no good. Missed everything there. Hornets now working, 35-34. Sailors down by 1. Here's Colin Raper driving in, finds Manzanares, and he botches the layup. Manzanares could have extended the lead there. Instead, he misses it, and now it's Lindquist and company on the other end. Lindquist misses a shot, too, and now Sherwood quickly on the other end. It's Manzanares, and now we're just going to kick it out to Colin Raper, slow things down a little bit. Raper handling it at the top of the key. Worked over to Seth Sherwood. Sherwood guarded by Lindquist. Now it's Raper one more. Time 35-34. Sailors down by 1. Colin Raper trying to come up with something here. It's Seth Sherwood once more. Good defense here from the Sailors. This is a long possession for the Hornets. Here's Raper over to Sherwood. Sherwood tries to drive in. He's immediately met. Wide open three in the corner, and DiCarlo nails it. Wow. Dean DiCarlo makes it a 4-point game, 38-34. Good patience there from the Hornets as they just waited until they were able to find the open man. Dean DiCarlo slips by and bangs the triple. Here's Gideon over to Lindquist. Stumbles for a moment. Looks inside. Nice pass. Granger Rowan with the wide open bucket. And it's a 2-point game once more, 38-36. I want to say one last quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on KTYV 105.7 and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
Hot Stuff Hearth and Home is locally owned and operated, featuring all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more, and always quality expert service. Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals. Friends coming to town? Call us at 970-879-8000 for the Locals Connection discount. Mountain Mattress and Furniture, located on Loggers Lane, offering the best prices and service without leaving the valley. Shop local and sleep great. Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice and the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between town and McDonald's on Highway 40.
Sailors down by 2, 38-36. And we were talking about closers, Ryan. You know, so far, I don't know who I would look to. Everyone's playing a good game. Honestly, if I was gonna have someone take a shot from, it'd probably be Connor Hansen. Honestly, it'd probably be Connor. It would probably be Connor. We'll see how the rest of this game turns out. 5:15 left to go, 38-36. If you're just joining us, Sailors in a tight one with the Pueblo County Hornets. Dean DiCarlo misses the shot there. Raper's able to pull it down. Ball's on the floor. And they're going to throw out techs and fouls and everything. I mean, whistles everywhere now. Let's see what the refs do. We got to get this sorted out. So a technical called on Colin Raper. There was a lot of pushing and pulling in that scrum. I'm not exactly sure what he got teed up for. But Connor Hansen's going to head to the free throw line and he'll shoot a couple. 2-point game. Jim's silent. And Hansen gets the first one. 1-point game now. Sailors down 38-37, 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Hansen with one more. And he misses that one off the back iron. So now it'll be Sailors ball. Colin Raper going to take a seat on the bench. It's his third foul of the game. Now the Sailors are going to be in the bonus from here on out. So here's Cade Gideon getting things started off once more after the brief hiatus. Here's Gideon, turns around, looks over, finds Hansen, pump fake, gives it to Piles. Piles now back over to Gideon at the top of the key. Gideon back to Rowan. Rowan far side, up top. Here's Piles, drives in with his right hand, and foul's going to be called against Ethan Piles. I believe this is going to go against Ethan Piles. No, it won't. Man, some games you want to get frustrated with the referees, and they're not making good calls. They're not really paying attention to who's on what team and this, that, and it just makes for a lot of confusion. I mean, they've called the wrong team at least 5 times this game. I don't really know how difficult it is, but obviously there are some challenges. As Ethan Piles hits the free throw, he'll have one more, ties it at 38, 4:46 to play. Second one from Piles, going to be no good off the back iron. Manzanares pulls it down for the Hornets. So Jordan Manzanares, he's going to be guarded by Connor Hansen. He's got to be a big-time player as we run down the final 4.5 minutes in this one. Manzanares dishes it over into the corner. It's Jace Barger, who's going to hit the big-time shot. Gives it over to Seth Sherwood. Sherwood now back to Manzanares. He's guarded by Rowan now. Manzanares works over. Sherwood once more inside, tries to find Hanford, and he posts up and puts the floater in for 2. Drop it down, Jose Hanford, 40-38. It's Piles to Hansen. No look pass to Gideon. Could have had the shot there, decided not to take it, and that's kind of where you see the nerves kick in. In the corner, Hansen takes this one. No good off the rim. Manzanares pulls down the board. 3:49 to play. Sailors down by 2, 40-38. Hansen with good defense all night on Manzanares. He tips that one away, and now it's Jose Hanford struggling to handle it, and now we're going to see a timeout as Pueblo County gets bailed out. They were about to lose the ball there. Sailors down by 2, 40-38, 3:39 to play. Lowen Epstein, Ryan Hansen in the booth here at Roosevelt High School. Directly after this broadcast, keep your dials locked. The Sailors girls basketball team will be facing off against the hometown Roosevelt Rough Riders in what should be a fun one. Sailors girls having a pretty good season thus far. Not any better record. They're 1-5 as well, but there have been some close games, some games that they definitely should have won. And I think there's a lot of good takeaways from that girls team. What are you looking forward to in that one?
Yeah, as you saw in the Steamboat shootout, there was a lot of progression, especially from last year, but on a game-to-game basis, this team kind of seems to be figuring themselves out and understanding their identity more, and they really are growing as a collective unit, not just individual players.
So the Sailors heading out of this timeout. They're going to be on the defensive end. It'll be Dean DiCarlo inbounding it for Pueblo County. DiCarlo looks for somewhere to go, finds Seth Sherwood. Sherwood in the corner, bounce pass over to Barger. Barger just loses that one, and it goes out of bounds. That's a big break for the Sailors as Gideon was there on the defensive effort. So the Sailors with 3.5 to play, down by 2, looking for a big shot here. It's Ethan Piles running point guard. Runs off the pick. Puts up a shot. Can't get that to go. And now Manzanares and company back the other way. Quick possession for the Sailors. I think in this situation the clock's probably your friend, as it's Dean DiCarlo working in the corner. Gives it back to Hanford. Fadeaway jumper, no good. On the floor, Hanford gets it back. Over to Manzanares, and a whistle's going to be called before he can get to the rack. And that'll go against Jackson Metzler. So you've got to be very careful if you're the Sailors. 6 team fouls now. One more is going to put Pueblo County in the bonus, and you're already down by 2 in what is going to finish out as a close game. So here's Manzanares. He's guarded by Hansen. Top of the key, crossover dribble, runs off the pick. Gives it back to Sherwood. Sherwood drives in, and he's going to get fouled. And they're going to say Sherwood's going to shoot, too. That's a debatable call. It looked like he might have been on the floor when they blew the whistle. But he'll head to the free throw line for a couple.
Something you noticed as Pueblo County goes into bonus here is that with Colin Raper on the bench, Manzanares is your primary ball handler, which means he is most likely to get fouled out of anybody, and he is the last person you'd want to see on the free throw line if you're the Steamboat Sailors.
Sherwood makes one and misses the second. It's a 41-38 ball game. Sailors down by 3. Here's Gideon. Gideon over to Hanson. Back to Gideon. Pueblo County looking for a big defensive stop here, and there's a whistle. Let's see what this is. And it's an illegal screen on Dawson Lindquist. Coach Van Dahl not agreeing with that call. I'm not sure I really saw it either. And that's a big turnover for the Sailors as Pueblo County gets it back with 2.5 minutes to play. Here's Manzanares working against the trap. Hanson doing a good job with his active hands there, and he gets a takeaway. Manzanares comes back up with it, and now it's Jose Hanford for 2 more. 43-38. Sailors need a big-time shot. 2:17 to play. Here's Piles. Piles, spin move, drives in. That one's blocked. Doesn't even make it to the rim. And Manzanares has it in his hands again. 43-38, 2 minutes to play. Here's Jordan Manzanares. And a hard foul there by Dawson Lindquist. I'm not sure what. I mean, he came in flying and basically just clotheslined him. Yeah, that. You don't want to have calls like that in this situation.
And if the foul hadn't been called, I'm pretty sure Seth Sherwood would have been at the basket either way, because Dawson was the last line of defense there.
So Sherwood misses the 1-and-1 free throw. Lindquist is there for the rebound. And now a press put in play here by Pueblo County. In the corner, it's Hanson. Back to Gideon. Wide open 3. Metzler off the front iron. Hanson's there for the rebound. Works it around the baseline. Deep 3 for Piles. Yes! Ethan Piles saving the day with 1:35 on the clock. Sailors down by 2, 43-41. Ethan Piles with the biggest shot of the game. Wow.
A little backside rebound by Connor Hanson there, kind of fought with Jose Hanford for the ball there. Got it, kind of drove on the baseline, made the entire defense collapse down towards the baseline, and then just popped out, kicked it right to Ethan Piles, who extended range 3, and he nailed it.
Nailed it. I mean, for someone who hasn't had the hottest game tonight, that shows a very big mental toughness to be able to hit that shot in crunch time.
Yeah, regardless of the missed layup a couple possessions prior, you shake it off, next play mentality, as Coach Van Dahl always says. Spot up for the 3, put them within 2, and this is a extremely large possession right here for the Sailors.
1:35 on the clock. That's all the time left in the ball game. 95 seconds. Sailors down by 2, 43-41. They're going to put in play a full court press. Pueblo County's going to inbound it. Here's Dean DiCarlo. DiCarlo gives it over to Manzanares. He's immediately picked up by Hanson and Metzler. Manzanares looks for somewhere to go, dishes it off to Sherwood. Quick volleyball passes here from the Hornets as they're trying not to get caught in a trap. And it's over to Jace Barger. Back to Sherwood. They're trying to force the Sailors to foul, and finally Lindquist does. And Sherwood is going to head to the line for 2. Into the double bonus we go. 1:12 on the clock.
Double bonus, as well as Dawson Lindquist now with 4 fouls here late in the 4th. That's a really good offensive and defensive rebounder that you'd preferably like to have on the court at this stage of the game.
So Sherwood buries the first free throw. It's a 3-point game. Second one, no good. That's a lucky missed shot for the Sailors. One possession game here with 1:08 to play. The freshman Gideon handling it. Cade Gideon at the top of the key. Works over, finds Hanson. Hanson pump fake behind the arc. Gives it back to Piles. Now he swings it across to Linquist. 55 seconds on the clock. 3-point game, 44-41 at Roosevelt High School. And a little pick and roll. Linquist is going to get called for a travel. And that's a huge break for Pueblo County as Linquist turns the ball over. Sailors need a stop now. DeCarlo's going to inbound it with 47 seconds on the clock. Dean DeCarlo looking for somewhere to go. Good defense here from the Sailors, and DeCarlo's going to call a timeout for Pueblo County. And this is getting down to the nitty-gritty. 44-41. Sailors down by 3. I want to say